kept her hat on all through brunch. I'm sure she has bad hair.
You know, I don't think you understand how unattractive hate is.
It's a thing to consider. If I sound a little off today, I apologize. I have a touch of the coronavirus. Okay, let's see. Charles M. Blow. They acquitted Trump. Make them pay. I don't think you understand how unattractive hate is. I don't think you understand what it is to be on the losing side. They lost 2016. They lost their minds. Now they've lost the impeachment because he was acquitted. Acquittal means not guilty. They even say so in the when they did the acquittal. They said not guilty. That's what acquittal means. And he wants to make them pay. We just went through the Iowa caucus. And one of the things that the reason they were trickling out the information was because they wanted Buttigieg, or anybody but Bernie Sanders, to look like they were ahead because there's momentum with winning. America loves winners. You don't see at the end of the Super Bowl, hey, losing team, you just lost the Super Bowl. Where are you going to go? And you don't see at the end of the Super Bowl, hey, losing team, what are your plans to make the other side pay? Well, you're going to have to wait a year to do that. Same thing with you, Chucky boy. Anyway, the point is, their rage is making them blind to how much rage they have and how unattractive that rage is, and that they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller on a minority. Let's take a look at some of the other headlines and see how this plays out. Mr. Charles Blow, who wants to make them pay, Mr. Revenge. Can you imagine running on the slogan of make them pay? Hate is not an attractive feature for winning in the long run. You can absolutely win in the short run. But as the old saying goes, you won the battle, but you lost the war. Democrats have a turnout problem. The 2020 campaign season is off to an inauspicious start for Democrats. Iowa reporting debacle has left Democrats without a clear result in their first nominating contest, sowing suspicions as to whether there will ever be an accurate count. Yeah, they want to do a recount now, because that's what Democrats like to do. But it's so funny because they've attacked the right for so long. They just got used to attacking, and now they're attacking their own. Because as they said in the French Revolution, every revolution, they eat their own children, with the exception of the American Revolution. Yay! Which is why America used to be really strong. This kind of crap is destroying it. Anyway, so they had, the turnout was the same as 2016, whereas back in 2008 it had a 240,000, and this time it was cruising around, let's see, if I remember right from last night, that's around 170,000. I don't see it up here, but it's around 170. Anyways, it's way, way off. So all that enthusiasm, all that vigor to make them pay, it's not working, dude. It's not an attractive feature. Do you recognize how unattractive hate is? No, he doesn't. But you know what? The voters do, because they have a turnout problem. If you think it's bad for mainstream Democrats now, just wait, says the New York Intelligencer. That's right. I was chided for making fun of people's appearance, and I don't make fun of things they don't have control of, and he can't control over the fact that he's, like, really old. But he's not dead, so good for him. And, yeah, so this is warning that, hey, the progressives, they're going to keep attacking. So you've got hate, and you've got socialist communist as your main feature, because this is a warning to the mainstreamers. Nope. Jonathan Chait is telling you, hey, us socialist communists, we're taking over with our rage and our hate. And they think they're going to win 2020. Sanders' claims are very strong that he had a victory in Iowa. They can't even You remember the counting in with what is his name, Al Gore? And they just kept counting and counting until they win. And in Georgia, they just kept counting and counting and counting, and they never won. And Gore didn't win. And this is 2018 when they were doing the multiple countings. And in Florida, they just kept counting in 2018 and counting and counting, and they still didn't win. Guys, you can count all day long, and if you're losers, you're losers. And now they're doing it to themselves, because Sanders is. Sanders is this. Sanders is, if you think it's bad for mainstream Democrats now, just wait, because Sanders is going to the top. AOC is going to the top. Pelosi tried to swim with sharks, and how's that panning out? Nancy Pelosi's righteous. I think we forgot what the word righteous means. When they go low, we go high. Doesn't work against Trump. When was it tried? Mr. Whoever you are, Errol Louis. I don't know if that's a boy or a girl. Anyways, when did you try? When did you try to go high? Was the impeachment going high? Was the hats that they wore after the presidential inauguration that the women wore, with the nasty women? When did you go high? When did you try it? Commenters, put the comments down below. When did they go high? I'm not aware of it. Russia. Zero evidence. All the way along. When did they go high? It doesn't work against Trump. When was it tried? Just this. Rage. Make them pay. Go low. You never went high. Pelosi calls Trump's address beneath the dignity of the White House. When is she going high? When? That speech was absolutely loved by more than half of America. The CNN audience that they called out, they loved the speech. It was very uplifting. It featured many, many great Americans, and it was beneath the dignity of the White House. Really? The Tuskegee Airmen? Rush Limbaugh? We understand that the left hates Rush Limbaugh because he has... Without Rush Limbaugh, there'd be no Rush Limbaugh. Without Rush Limbaugh, there'd be no Fox News. Without Rush Limbaugh, there'd be no multiple right-wing media outlets. So we get why they hate him. The man is a demigod of effectiveness for conservatism like no one else. And if we do lose him to lung cancer, it's going to be a huge success for them, because nobody can replace Rush, which they're really counting on. He's been a thorn in their side since George Papa Bush. Like, how was he a thorn in their side then? Because he really made it hard for Clinton to win. And then when Clinton did win, that's the whole history of Rush. But the point being, beneath the dignity, the Tuskegee Airmen, the little girl who got a scholarship, below the dignity. Good grief. Chris Matthews. Trump calling on his troops to fight to the death against Democrats and bureaucracy. Chris, that's a winning move. That's what you tell the people on your side how to win. Fight against the Democrats and bureaucracy. You don't say, make them pay. Do you see? Make them pay is saying attack the Republicans who are in office and the Republicans who voted for the Republicans. You're going after the voters. Chris Matthews is pointing out that he's telling his troops to fight to the death against Democrats and bureaucracy. Democrats in office, bureaucracy, the machine. This isn't personal. This is politics, and this is the system. Charles Blow wants to attack the human beings. And if Chris Matthews is right, and let's face it, he's not very often. He's saying that Trump wants his people to vote against Democrats and against bureaucracy. Fight to the death. Well, I don't really know what that means in this context. I'm sorry. Hello, hyperbole. But yeah, this is a winning strategy. This is attractive. Destroy the beast. Not the humans, the beast. And then, of course, Trump is out there celebrating. And while he's celebrating, here's Mr. Stewing in the corner. No, they acquitted. Make them pay. Make them pay. Don't let him get away with, using the system correctly and telling us that we can't do that we can't do whatever we want because we have D's by our names. D stands for doesn't apply to us. It was all baloney. Liberated Trump lets loose in a victory speech after the acquittal. Of course he does. He was acquitted. That's what acquitted means, not guilty. Uh-oh, this one's not coming through. This was the job numbers, I can tell by the... Yeah, oh, see there? Do you agree? Sure, I agree. U.S. hiring in January with 225,000 more jobs, unemployment at 3.6%. They thought it was going to come in at 180,000, and it came in at 225. And you want to make them pay? We don't think so. Let's see what else is out there. Economy added a robust 225,000 jobs, defying worker shortages. Yeah, it turns out if you build the wall and you keep out the other people, Americans will take those jobs. And for the record, that expression, these are jobs Americans won't do anymore, that was George frickin' Baby Bush that invented that expression. I despised him for that. It's like, I'm out here looking for work, and you're telling me I'm not going to take a job. It's like, dude, yes, I will, but I can't get the job where I live because I don't speak Spanish, because all you've hired is Spanish people and all of the managers. It was really, really bad. It's not that way anymore. And holy moly, look, Americans are getting jobs. 225,000. Breaking the rule, let's see, right there. A 50-year low of 3.5%. That's largely because Americans joined the labor force. How freaking awesome is that? That it rose to, because more people of Americans are getting it. And you want to make them pay? Yeah, they are paying. They're paying in paychecks to actual U.S. workers now. God bless them. That's the kind of pay we want. That's an attractive winning message. Oh, I'm not done. U.S. jobs tops estimates with 225,000. But check this out. Wages accelerate too. So now wages are going up. It's not just that more people are getting jobs. More people are making more money. Make them pay. They are paying. They're paying American workers thanks to Donald J. Trump. Record high optimism on personal finances in U.S. Make them pay. Somebody's getting paid and they're getting paid bank. Dude, Mr. Charles Blow, you don't stand a freaking chance with your rage and hate. And you're below the dignity and your righteous rip. You don't stand a chance. You don't. This man came in and said, I promise that I will lower your taxes. He did. I will build the wall. There are sections of the wall that are being built. It's in the New York Times. I haven't done a video on it, but I've got the links for it. Okay, you can look it up. He's actually building the wall. He's just not making a big deal about it. I guess he's going to wait until closer to the election. But the point is, you're not going to win. And you need, all of you guys that are just so rage-filled, you need to remember that episode of the Twilight Zone from the original episodes where there was this fellow and he was just so rage-filled. And he's like, oh, I'm out to get everybody. I've got all these lists and I keep tracking. At the end of the episode, spoiler, he made a magical cantation to shrink all of the evil people in the world so he could crush them. And of course, it's Twilight Zone. So at the end of the episode, guess who was the only one shrunk? Guess who was the only one shrunk? Charles Blow. Guess who's going to be the only one that's going to have to pay? Don't be surprised, Mr. Charles Blow, if you're not one of the other hundreds of thousands of reporters that have been laid off since Trump was elected. And guess what? You know who's not laying off people? Right-wing media. Wall Street Journal's doing just fine. You want to see who's going to get paid? American workers are getting paid. And they're getting paid more now than they've been paid in a while, if not a very long time. That's who's paying. If you like the content of this video and you could handle my coronavirus voice, thank you. Hopefully it'll get better and I'll not sound as horrible in the future. But we do greatly appreciate you watching this video. And if you want to share the video, please do. If you want to subscribe, please do. Sometimes it's a mix of this stuff. Sometimes it's movie reviews and TV reviews. It's just whatever's on my mind. I got, it's a baby channel that I have. I'm proud of my little baby channel and my subscribers. But I'm just going to do what I do. And if you guys like it, that's awesome. And if you don't, well, you didn't make it this far to the video, so I'm not really talking to you. But if you did like it, thank you very much, and we'll see you in the future.